Boys, a new devil is arriving. It's Tom and Jack from Cultaholic. What was that advertising again, Jack?
That was the Man United players advertising Caroleo del Diablo or something like that. I can never remember the first word in it. It's the third time we've done this intro because I can't remember that word. But it features Ryan Giggs, Wayne Rooney and Patrice Evra doing a really, really good spot of acting, actually. So do check that out. Just type in Man United advert Del Diablo and you'll find it.
They've watched it on their Twitch stream already, but maybe if you ask them really nicely, they might do it again for you from 6 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time.
Maybe Tom will do some chopping up of bad guys with his sword from 2 p.m.
Oh,
Greenwich
I might
Mean
do
Time.
that on The Legend of Zelda. But now here is the Legend of Wrestling news. Has Edge revealed his WrestleMania opponent? We'll talk about that in a second. Plus, we have backstage news on the latest NXT call-up, and it's good news as well. Plus, an update on Carlito's future plans with WWE. There is speculation as to where Edge will put his hat regarding his Royal Rumble win and consequently the championship he will challenge for, whether it be on Raw, SmackDown or even NXT. He made an appearance on the Steve Dangle podcast recently and may have shed a bit of light onto where he's going to go. What's he been saying, Jack?
Well, on the podcast, he was asked back when he was retired, who he would most have liked to have came back and wrestled. And as if dropping a bit of a clue for us, Edge immediately just said Roman Reigns. Now, why would he do that if he wasn't building up towards some sort of match? But he basically said, yeah, back when I was retired, I really wanted to wrestle Roman Reigns. For years, I was saying he was getting all kinds of flack, and I never understood it because I know how talented that guy is. I could see the guy that was in there that wasn't allowed to come out character-wise. So he was a guy that I always saw, and I was like, man, what I could do with this guy. He also mentioned people like Cesaro, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, the usual names that people mention when they're asked, if you could wrestle anybody, who would it be? People often say them because they're the best wrestlers. But immediately, without batting an eyelid, Edge straight away, the first answer was Roman Reigns.
Certainly one of the more intriguing stories over the last week or so has become maybe Edge and Roman Reigns, I would say. And I wouldn't have said that back at the start of January, but they've done such a lovely job in those 2 weeks of having Roman as this entitled, narcissistic champion who's like, you're going to pick me as your challenger, so you might as well just say my name and get on with it. And Edge refusing to do so, just getting under the skin of Roman Reigns. It's been a really cool story to tell. In terms of like where the other championships fall, like I think there's lots of other options for Drew for WrestleMania, and it won't be the NXT title. As fun as it would be, the idea of Edge and Balor, I think they might do something down the road, but I certainly don't think that'll be there. And I think that even if in the unlikely event that Edge and Roman Reigns doesn't go down at WrestleMania, that's a marquee match they can have for like a Saudi Arabia show, isn't it?
It's funny that you should have mentioned Saudi Arabia because a few days ago, weren't there a few tweets suggesting that WWE may have gone over there?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah, so there were people online, I think Heel by Nature shared this, so thank you very much to Heel by Nature, who were sharing photos of the WWE plane refueling in Dublin. And you can then pull up the flight path of the plane, and the plane had indeed, and in the last few days, has been to Abu Dhabi, has been over towards Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I've just found it now. They were citing, so it was first widely reported by Heel by Nature, but they were citing an original photo taken by Paul Burns, Berns, just to give him credit there, who, saw the plane in Dublin, and claimed that it was en route from New York to Abu Dhabi, and then, Heel by Nature looked at the flight path and verified that. What are they doing there?
Oh, I wonder what, a massive Thunderdome. Like a colossal Thunderdome inside a huge stadium.
Yeah.
That's more than likely what they're doing, I think.
You know what, Tom? I was sad and concerned that this whole pandemic, the main drawback for me has been the lack of Saudi Arabia shows from WWE. And this is only good news. I'm only relieved that it looks like we're going to get our Super Showdowns and our Crown Jewels. We're going to get our Crown Jewels back, Tom.
Oh, do you know what? I've missed my Crown Jewels, something rotten. But it does mean, of course, that all be well come October, we can do a charity stream for Amnesty International and all get dressed up again. So
yeah, they are fun.
There is that as well. Obviously, raising money for Amnesty International is the most important part of that. But it's always nice to see Ross dressed as Brother Love. I think it's a look he pulls off ridiculously well. Love it.
He really does. Yeah.
We mentioned there the NXT Championship and currently being held by Finn Balor and possibly Edge doing stuff in NXT. We're staying on the NXT front because a recent call-up from the Black and Gold, we have an update on them, and it's good news. It's lovely to say because by this point we normally get a little bit anxious when people get called up, but Damian Priest has been doing all right, hasn't he, Jack?
Yeah, Fightful have been saying that basically the backstage reaction to Priest's recent work has been really positive, and apparently high-level sources in WWE, from that we can infer that Sean Ross Sapp has been speaking to Vince McMahon directly, claim that Priest is, no, of course not, claim that Priest is well-liked backstage and turned heads during his Royal Rumble appearance and Raw debut. I think he's been good, certainly. I do think he's been good, but Tom, this new story it's angered me slightly, you know. It's angered me very slightly. It sounds on the surface, as you say, like good news. It sounds like it's... And obviously I'm pleased for Damian Priest. It's great for him. But there have been so many excellent wrestlers that have been called up from NXT who haven't worked with a global celebrity. And nothing's been said about them doing great work. And suddenly, one's paired with a high-level celebrity in Bad Bunny. And then a high-level source tells Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful that, yeah, he's turned heads and he's really well-liked backstage. I'm wondering whether... I don't know, because Priest deserves it on one hand, so I'm not mad at him personally for this, and I'm glad that he's being praised. I just feel like that should be a privilege that's extended to many other members of the NXT roster who are called up to the main roster.
So do you think it's a case of they're saying this because they've paired him with Bad Bunny? They don't want to give the impression that they've paired their celebrity with a quote unquote with a lemon.
No, I don't.
There's no lemons in NXT, but you know what I mean.
No, I think they're a good pairing, and I think that's a good idea, and I think they were right to do so. And I do think that Priest has thrived in that role, but I don't think he's done anything particularly taxing. Like, you know, he's not. He had better matches on NXT, that sort of thing. Obviously, he's not in the sort of environment where he's going to be having 20-minute bangers week in, week out. But I just feel like it's because I'm annoyed that they haven't done anything with Aleister Black, Tom. That's why, right?
Yeah,
we've got to the root of it now.
There's the crux of the matter. That's what it's all about, isn't it? I hear you. I do. I think that the one thing that Damian Priest certainly has that a lot of others haven't done, like, he's got the size. He's got that look that they really like. And
but he's a babyface. Anyway.
And... You know, because they're appealing to the same market that Bad Bunny is doing gangbusters in. Then true. There is that connection. Like Damian Priest and Bad Bunny being talked about all the time is obviously it's great for WWE to be in the same conversation as Bad Bunny, but this is brilliant for Damian Priest.
Oh, it's brilliant for him. And just when you touched on his look there that they seem to enjoy, that by that look you mean sort of tall and sleazy. Because that's what Baron Corbin...
Like I like my coffee.
Because obviously he's got similar hair to what Baron Corbin used to have before he shaved it off. And then they've made him a babyface, which he's doing well at, to be fair to him. I just don't know. I don't quite understand. Because he was always a heel on... Oh no, he turned face on NXT, didn't he? He turned face on NXT. Well, fair enough. I feel like I might have been a bit harsh on Damian Priest there, because he is doing very well.
I thought you were more saying that he's more inclined to be a heel. Like his character sort of lends itself more to being a heel.
Yeah.
I think the sleazeball Damian Priest is an excellent character, and I hope we get to see him in some capacity on Monday Night Raw.
He'll turn on Bad Bunny in a heartbeat. He'll batter him.
There was talk that Priest would be replaced at WrestleMania. There's this celebrity tag match that we talked about in previous news videos, and there was talk that Damian Priest would be swapped out for Booker T. That talk seems to have died down now. I can see it going, having Priest and Bad Bunny there with Booker T in their corner, just stood there doing all this.
And if you can do a spinneroonie once, then brilliant.
That's it. Dream come true. Dream come true. Talking of dreams, Io Shirai was chatting to Sports Illustrated about her dream takeover opponent, and it's a tantalising prospect, isn't it, Jack?
Tom, in delightful news for me, the person that you mentioned is the person I said was the most underrated in the end-of-year Cultaholic Awards of 2020, so I look right clever now. She was talking to Sports Illustrated, as you say, about her dream NXT TakeOver opponent, and she named someone from her former promotion, Stardom, Mayu Iwatani. Mayu Iwatani, now obviously to fans of Japanese wrestling, and Japanese women's wrestling specifically, people will say she's never underrated at all, Jack. What are you talking about? She was the Stardom champion for much of last year, but a lot of people don't know who she is, and she kind of has assumed the mantle of Io Shirai and Kairi Sane when they left for WWE. She's now like the ace of Stardom, if that makes sense. She's the big dog of Stardom. So
Does she punch the canvas as she walks to the ring?
Not literally the big dog. She's not Roman Reigns.
The big dog!
But she's someone who Io Shirai will be very familiar with, and clearly someone who Io Shirai respects, and someone that she's now introduced into this conversation as a dream takeover opponent. I don't know if she's talking about that like it's a possibility, or if she's just giving an honest answer. Oh, she would be my dream opponent, even if it's unlikely.
I think just shooting the breeze on that one. It'd be
Fair
great
enough.
to see. It'd be great to see that go down. I think if it's going to go down anywhere within WWE's umbrella, it'll be a takeover.
Mm-hmm.
A takeover, and then maybe a 3.5-minute match on Raw. But definitely a takeover. I said that just to make Jack very cross. You're very, very welcome.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
And finalement, will Raw ever be cool again, Jack?
No, it won't is the answer. Because
The answer is no.
Because Carlito's done with them again. He was back. We all went, oh, Carlito's back. But now, sadly, he's done again. He was on What a Day with Joe Lowry and revealed that, his run seems to be over. He said, in regards to his future, he said, man, who knows? As of now, I'm open to whatever kind of idea is out there. Right now, I'm on my own. I'm just open to whatever comes my way. He was then asked specifically about All Elite Wrestling, and he said, whatever great idea is out there, I'm willing to listen to it and see if I fit in there somehow. I'm quite sad, Tom. Quite sad about it.
He's just a lone wolf looking for trouble right now. I feel like the thing that we missed that little bit of an edge that he had as part of his comeback. Like he was there, he looked great, fit as a butcher's dog, and he had a tag team match on Raw that was just sort of there.
There was no story behind it or reason. Yeah, he just teamed with Jeff Hardy, I think, but for no reason. Yeah,
and then that was it. And now he's done again. If he does come back, wherever he goes next, if he does stuff maybe with AEW, even turns it maybe an Impact, I don't know, New Japan, I don't know, or whatever he chooses to do next, like I hope he takes that big personality with him and pushes that onto the screen, because sky's the limit if he does.
You know what? I wasn't, when they asked him about AEW, and I in my head straight away I thought that's probably a bit unlikely, because AEW don't tend to just sign people just because they've recently appeared in WWE, but they do enjoy pairing current wrestlers, don't they, with older ones like Darby Allin with Sting, Nyla Rose with Vicky Guerrero. So I could totally see Carlito in a similar role in AEW. The problem is, he's in such great shape that is it a waste not to have him wrestle?
Yeah, you want him doing... it seems wrong for somebody to be in that great condition to not be in there more regularly, I would say. Mm-hmm. I will say. Hey, stick in the comments below who you think Carlito should be paired with. That'd be good fun.
That's a good shout, yeah.
Good shout. Let us know in the comments below who that would be. And while you're there, have an amazing day. You stay safe. Love you, bye.